Matt with Let's Talk Music. I'm here with Berg and Zoe of Reign of Z. Uh, these guys just got off of a tour not too long ago. Hit three Ohio dates. It was Youngstown, Newark, and Centerfield, I believe. So out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and tell me a little bit about Reign of Z.
Go ahead, Berg.
Yep. Rain and Z was started in 2018. Zoe and I have been doing this the entire time until we got up to the point of touring basically nationally whenever we did our first national last year with Combi Christ. And sorry,
You're fine.
Love her.
Rain and Z is just, we've just been trying to keep this train moving. So Zoe, you can ad lib some stuff in there if you'd like.
Oh man, I'm freestyling now. Yeah, basically, Berg and I are the only original members of the band, and our goal is each year to just kind of progress and grow.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, basically, we like to be, like new metal, innovative, and we're very like working. We always say we're very much a working class band.
Mm-hmm. I get that a lot. Independent bands, DIY,
Yes,
there's all kinds of different names for them, but all in all, you're musicians, you're making music, you're doing what you love, and that's the ultimate goal in life.
for sure,
But
absolutely.
now what does the Z stand for? Anything specific?
Good, good, Berg.
Well, um, about that, whenever we were naming the band, we were throwing some ideas around about some things, and so we got some input from our friends out in LA, and they were like, "Oh, you should name it after Zoe, since she'd done some things out there." And she was like, "I do not want a band named about me." And so we were throwing things around, and her mom was yelling in the background one day, "You should name it after the dog, Rain." And me just being the let's say smartass that I am, I said, "Well, we just call it Reign of Z."
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and it stuck.
Well, I mean, it's definitely because see, I was like trying to think of Z what it would stand for, like random zombies, just it's hard to tell anymore.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
And it's
well, Zoe is the queen. So
I cannot accept that title, but thank you.
So Zoe, we were talking a little bit before I started recording, and we were talking about the new, well, it's a couple months old now, but Cellophane. Um, so I'm listening to this song, and I'm digging it from beginning to end, but
Thank you.
I'm like, your vocals are really awesome. I think
Thank you.
like in the chorus because you're at one level and then you go high and then you come back down. I noticed that really was cool. And
Thank you.
then what really just blew my fucking mind was the unclean vocals.
Thank you.
I was like, no way this chick just did that.
I swear. And
It-
I tell I tell people too whenever I do it live, I don't use any stuff. It's all me. So, obviously in the studio you're layered just because, I can't split my vocals into like five harmonies. Otherwise I'd probably be very much internet famous. But but that's all me. That's all my range. So I appreciate that you noticed that. Thank you.
you are yeah, you have a hell of a voice in your vocal
Thank
range
you.
and everything. And like I said, it's just it really hits you like you're you've got this almost Amy Lee Evanescence sound to you.
Oh, you hear that, Berg? Oh,
she was one of your inspirations, dear.
I know. I just like to razz him because she is one of my inspirations. So I just like to razz him.
Amy Lee is very inspiring. I love that woman. But
Listen, Matt, she sings in the car. I literally have to put earplugs in if the windows have to be up.
It's true. He's not lying.
so yeah, but I mean, you get that, and then all of a sudden there's just this, and I was like, whoa, and I think that added just a really more, if we're going to say Amy Lee Evanescence type, it added more of a arch enemy vibe to it.
Yeah.
So now we're like, Eva
Yep.
enemy,
An ever enemy. I love
right.
that.
So I mean, it was really cool. Like I said, it caught me by surprise because I was listening to it while I was driving, and I'm like, okay, this I'm digging it, and then that hit, and I was like, wait a minute, I actually went back a step, like, whoa, this girl can get down.
Thank
So,
you.
and
And
in the music to it, I mean, the guys in the band are just killing it. I mean, it's a very well put together song.
Thank you.
thank you. I wouldn't be anywhere without the guys. I don't think they get enough credit. Um, I'm very lucky to have a good group of guys that, want to do this. And, especially like I always say, Berg's the brains of the operation. He's the mayor, he's the CEO, he's the president. I
Yeah.
just open my mouth.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing. A lot of people do. They put so much emphasis on the front person,
They do. They do.
and um, with me, one of my things about music is I listen to every element of it. So it's not like I was just kind of at that time um emphasizing on your voice because it's a very nice voice, and like I said,
Thank
I was
you.
shocked with the unclean vocals, but the entire instrumental part of it is very fitting for that song, and even more fitting is the video. I mean, it's like you guys just hit it out of the park with this, with the music, with the vocals, with the video. I mean, where did you shoot the video at?
Berg, I'll
Long
let you
Island,
take
New
that
York.
one.
We actually shot that in Long Island, New York, with our videographer Tom Flynn, who basically, helped us get locations and concepts all the way through. Um, it was a fun process actually to do our, as I'd say, our little messed up Scooby Doo that we did.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the ending of the video is pretty cool. Just a foot to the face and it's gone.
Yeah, I think our drummers had some practice with that in previous times. I'm not sure, but I don't want to confirm or deny that.
So yeah, that's Long Island. That's a little bit of a drive from Pittsburgh. I mean, nothing around there that kind of suited the video, or
It's more, our videographer is based out of Long Island. He has access to things, so we load up the car, take our guitars, and make a 6 hour drive. After
yeah,
you've been on the road, after you've been on the road and covered half the country in a year? What's 6 hours?
very true.
Exactly.
Very true. That's what I drive a truck, for my day job, and I'm home every day now. But there was for about 13 years, I was all over the country. So I know exactly what you talk about. Now I'm like, an hour or 2 hour drive from Marietta, Ohio to Columbus is like, oh my God, this is so long when I used to drive from like here to, damn near Oklahoma. And it's like, it changes everything. But I mean, it's a good reason to be, heading to Long Island, shoot a video that, was, like I said, very well put together, and
Thank
an
you.
awesome song. Zoe, you was talking a little bit about getting some plans to tour for 2023. How about releasing another single?
Yes, so Berg and I are actually already in the process of talking to our producers in New York. I've been writing very feverishly, and I don't want to say too much because we get an idea and then we go to the studio in a completely 180. So I don't want to like make any sort of, false promises. But if I can navigate the single the way that I'm hoping to, it's going to probably be one of the most like heartbreaking singles that I've ever done. It's probably going to be one of the hardest ones for me to perform if it goes in the direction that I'm hoping it will.
Okay. So I mean, cellophane, does that have some kind of uh dark meaning to it?
Of course, that's the story of my life. But yeah, so when Berg and I started growing this band, and obviously him and I are not anywhere near where we want to be. We started losing a lot of people, and we started getting a lot of negativity online, and uh, presumptuous uh, thoughts, that people think that they know and they don't. And, I've lost so many friends with growing this band. And like, I would talk to him all the time and I'd be like, I don't feel any different. I just feel like I live in a van, half the year. And then, come home and go to work. Like, I don't feel any different. But, they say as you climb to the top, or you're attempting to climb to the top, you lose a lot of people. So that's
Mhm.
kind of what cellophane is. It's about you growing as a person, and you trying to get to the next level, and all these people are just kind of falling to the wayside. So it's been kind of a hard growing process, if you will.
Okay. How about you,
That's
Berg?
Lola.
Berg, you got any input on that?
I mean, cellophane is, her writing is, that's what she wants to express. Me going into like writing and working with our producers, I wanted to come up with something that was a bit on the heavier side yet palatable, and I think we accomplished that with
That
this
is
single.
Lola, by the way.
I
Yeah,
feel
she has breathing problems. I apologize.
you're fine,
um
buddy. It's not a big deal at all, man. I mean, the more the merrier.
but yeah, he's pretty supportive of what I want to write about, because I try to be very autobiographical, because I can't like have somebody write a song for me and then perform it. To me, that feels like joyless sex. You know what I mean? Not to, but it's
I got you.
it's kind of one of those situations where it's like I have to connect to it, and if I don't connect to it, I can't perform it. So it's very important to me that I talk about currently like what I'm going through or what I have gone through. So when we perform it, people feel it.
Yeah, and I mean that's an important, very important part. Actually, I applaud you for having that sense to you because I mean a lot of music is written for musicians and they just go out and they perform it and it becomes a hit single and it really has a lot of it doesn't have any meaning to it and then you get the bands like yourself and a lot of the bands that I talk to where there's a lot of time and effort and feeling put into their music and they really enjoy sharing that with the crowd and the feeling that the crowd gives them. And so I mean I applaud you guys for that because it's hard to, especially like something that's tragic in your life, and that you've kind of repressed, and all of a sudden you think, I'm going to turn this into a song, so now you're reliving this,
Mm-hmm.
tragedy, but you're putting it into a song and it's therapeutic. So you're like, okay, why didn't I do this years ago? Now I can get this off of my chest and I can put it out there in a way that people can relate with me, but they're not, getting the whole story, because I mean, obviously, something tragic, nobody wants to put the whole story out there, especially in the public.
Sure. And people online, I mean, we all know this, it doesn't matter what generation. People are just cruel, and
Oh,
they take your pain, and they take your experiences and they use it against you. But the one thing that I've always said, and I stand by this, is like everybody, I don't care who you are, what economic class, race, sexuality, doesn't matter. We all have skeletons in our closet. We
yeah.
all, if we were all to put a camera in everybody's house, everybody would be canceled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like at the end of the day, we're all human beings and we're just all kind of searching for the same thing. So why would you not put something out there that's authentic, that people can relate to? And I think that's what rock and metal is about,
Mhm. Oh yeah.
my 2 cents, that's all.
Hey, I'm with you. So Berg, like if you're how does the music work for you guys? So Zoe, she writes out the lyrics and stuff, and does she bring them to you? And you're like, okay, I can throw some tracks down to this, or do you guys throw down the tracks first and she writes the lyrics after? I mean, what's the process for that?
It usually comes back and forth between us and our producers up in New York, and we shoot ideas back and forth. Once we have a finalized thing, then it's every day. Then once we have something finalized, then we start working on harmonies and breaking it down and finding what fits for what the music is, what's written.
Okay.
And that's pretty much how we go about things. Write every day. Not everything is going to be used.
Right.
100 ideas, maybe you use one.
Right.
But,
So,
but you gotta constantly write every day.
true. Now, you're a guitarist, right?
No, I play bass.
Oh, you play bass? Okay, my bad. Shit.
Yeah.
When you guys like get in there and it's just, the band itself without Zoe's input, I mean, do you like all kind of contribute to the song, or is it pretty much like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and I mean, does everybody put their input in?
Ideally, the idea, the thing is, like our we're very spread out band. Like our new guitar player Grayson, he lives in West Virginia, so him and I will get together periodically and just do some writing or just shoot some ideas. I try to track stuff and just keep it for whenever is needed. But usually we just kind of collaborate ideas and see where things go, and then ultimately bring in our unofficial, fifth member, and then try to just what cellophane is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as a where I said guitarist, you actually are still a guitarist even though you play bass, bass guitarist.
Right.
Yeah. It's just longer, heavier, yeah.
So, but
No, I'm just.
so I mean, I guess what I'm wondering is like, I want to hear your growl. Let me hear it. Can you do it? Let me see here. I did not catch that at all. It was just,
Oh no.
there we go. Try it again. Nice. So, does that hurt at all?
No, not at all.
Huh. See, that's one of my other questions is like how on a nightly basis are you able to go from the clean to unclean back to clean? I mean, and it never bothers your throat at all.
No, so I actually have a vocal coach. I go every week. He's actually a speech pathologist.
Hmm.
Um, we vocalize. The guys will hear me in the van. I'll be like, "Okay, guys, it's 1 o'clock. It's time for me to do my voice lesson." And I put my earbuds in, and they hear me go like, making all these like weird noises. And it's very important. I tell people like this is just my experience. I'm not judging anybody. Your body is your instrument. So I am eating clean. I'm at the gym every day. I drink a ton of water. Like I try to get my sleep. Like it is so important. And that's how I've been, knock on wood, very lucky to do this night after night, night after night. I don't smoke. I drink probably like the night before we have like a no show the next day, or I drink the last night of tour, which usually I end up getting in trouble. but no, my voice teacher always keeps me in check, and I work very closely with UPMC Voice Center in Pittsburgh. They actually did a news segment on me about screaming and being able to make these sounds without any repercussions. But I tell vocalists all the time, like, your body's your instrument, you have to take care of it.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of people that, um, used to sing like that or do sing like that have had issues. Like, I mean, M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold, you listen to Unholy Confessions and then you listen to, let's just say Afterlife or something like that, and his voice has completely changed because, I mean, he ripped his vocal cords a couple of times. So,
Absolutely. And the things that you got to ask, which I'm sure a lot of them won't be fully honest, is, are you drinking on that tour? Are you doing any sort of drugs? Are you getting your sleep? You know what I mean? What are you eating? Like this all plays a factor. And some metal vocalists I've met have like vocal cords of steel. Like, they can continue to, abuse their bodies and be able to make those sounds every night. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, we as human beings, like we all have an expiration date. And unfortunately, certain people's voice boxes have an expiration date as well.
right. So, you were talking about a meeting tomorrow. Looking forward to getting out on 2023.
Yes.
If you guys make it through Columbus, I would love to do a live interview.
Yeah, we would love to have you. That would be awesome.
I think that I feel like just watching your videos, just talking to you guys, I feel like that would be one just kick-ass show.
We're a bunch of animals
Come
when we get together. I will warn you. We're all a bunch of goofballs. So be ready.
Well, I mean, and it's a job, it's something that you do to, for a living or whatever, however use it. It's still a job, and you can't be serious all the time. So, I mean,
Right.
and being able to be goofy with the people that you work with is also great. I mean, because if you're uptight all the time and shit, you're just going to be like, nah, I don't want to do this. So, I
Yeah.
mean, and there's so many elements to music, so many elements to bands, and so many elements to touring that people don't really get. And I mean, you're with these people day in and day out. People get sick, they get pissy, it's no different than being at a regular job, except for you're in close quarters with these people, constantly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're in a tin can with wheels with another tin can behind you.
Yep. So, I
And
mean, I'm sorry, go ahead, Bert.
on the road, whenever somebody's not feeling it that day, just give them their space. They'll come around.
Yeah.
Read the
Somebody's
room.
not feeling good. You put them in the back and light the hell out of everything,
Yeah.
especially in the stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw them in a trailer with the equipment.
We do. Eric's usually in the trailer.
Oh, wow.
They'll sleep back there sometimes.
He'll sleep back there. He likes it. So
Oh.
we just let him go.
Oh, man. Well, guys, I will let you get to your rest of your evening. I really do appreciate your time. I know this took a while to hook up, and now I can
Okay.
see why you guys were, you know, touring and stuff. I don't think Tom mentioned that, but so I mean,
Okay.
We tried to get to everything we could. It just was hard some days. With cell coverage and things like that. So, and just
load in
it's
time.
just one of those things.
yeah,
Shaking baby.
Oh my god. But no, we're so happy that we finally connected with you, and thank you for like I said, just taking an interest. We appreciate it.
well, like I said, as soon as that song started, I had an interest, and then I listened to a couple others, and I was like, okay, man, you definitely gained a new fan.
Thank you. I love that. We appreciate that.
So, guys, you have a good evening. And, if I see that, an announcement for a tour and that you're coming out this way, we'll hook up.
Awesome, Matt. Thank you so
Like a
much.
plan,
And
Matt.
you have a good night, okay?
You too. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks.